Hey, I am back. I guess technically this is part two of this, small sort of project I'm doing here. And on the last little portion, that was yesterday, it's another day here. On the last portion, I pretty much put all the wheels that I needed on the vehicle, on the car. So I think that's probably the most time consuming portion um, of the entire project for the most part. Now, my next favorite part. And I'm gonna check a few things before I get started on this. Honestly, this may be my favorite part besides the wheels. So, what am I looking at here? You may be curious. What am I looking at? In my opinion, this is the best spoiler wing that can be purchased for the BMW 2 Series cars, or most is for the F22 M2 style cars. But I think, for example, if I do someday save up and I'm able to get like 2020, 2021 M240i, it says 2014, 2019, but 2020, 2021 M240i, I think it's the same car. I think it could fit on that car as well since it is a two series style. The only thing is the M2 is a little bit wider. It's more of a wider car. But I'm just gonna show you some pictures and why this is why I think this is the best wing that you can buy for the M2 series. They have some pictures here. I'll just click through them. There's one. And it's rare, I haven't seen it um, on too many cars. There's only 2 or 3 YouTube videos out there. So this is an idea of what the wing looks like. And I've been telling people, like, this is the best wing you can get for the 2 series. But, you know, it's hard to get the information out there because, everyone has their own taste. But just to give you an idea. But basically, I'm going to put this wing on the new G87 2 series style of car, the new M2 car. I could use this wing. This is my favorite type of view angle, but there's another one that I found that I'm going to use. But I am looking for something this angle, which I'll show you in my pictures. I also captured some Supra MK5 Supra wings. I could throw one of those wings on there, the Sabon, I think, carbon fiber wings, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing this wing. This is the same type picture that's on the website there, I think. I was gonna say. So this is what I'm gonna be using. This is from a YouTube video. Oh, and look, he's Pikachu over there. That's his, I think, Instagram over there. Forget the YouTube video. I have to bring it up later. But he's like the main guy who is showcasing this entire Darwinpro body kit. There's an entire body kit for this, in case you're curious. Which I think that's what this car here is in this image. This is the entire Darwinpro body. It's literally the best body kit that you can get for the F22, body style. But I'm just scrolling through so you can see some more images. That's what the wing looks like there. I think it's the best looking wing for the 2 Series cars, but it's extremely rare. Like, I don't think many people know about this wing. Um, but this is the wing I plan to get if I do get an M2, 2 Series car someday. I'm not saying this wing could fit on the new G87 M2, but I'm going to make it fit just for this video. Just to see, just to throw the idea out there. Hopefully, Darwinpro sees it or something. Maybe they'll make it happen. Anyway, so that's the next portion of the video here, and that's what I'm going to get into. That's all I want to show you. I don't think I have anything else here. The last portion of my video, I'm thinking about doing this carbon hood here. I also have another one. If I can find it, I think here. This one, yeah, I sort of tested out. Anyway, I'm going to test out a few more colors here, and then I'm going to get started with this portion of the video. So stay tuned here. Okay, let's continue on. So, first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to open to that wing that I was talking about. So why am I starting with the wing right here? Honestly, I was playing around with it before, and I would like to have the wing completely isolated on its own. Just the wing itself with a transparent background. That's it. So that when I place it into the other image, I was about to say import. I'm used to 3D animation. When I place it into the other image, it'll be much easier to work with. That's all this is right here. So first thing I'm going to do, this may be the easiest part for some of you, but for anyone who's new, I'm just basically dragging this down, create a new layer. I don't like having the lock layer and just delete that. Pretty much, there's two ways you could do it. I'm basically doing masking here. There's two ways you can do it. There's a bunch of ways, but right here is the quick selection tool up here. Go up to the left here, quick selection tool, and you can drag. See, but so for example, if I drag on the red down here, if I hold left click and I just drag the mouse, it selects that area. And if I do it over here, now it tries to pick whatever areas make sense. It's based on like RGB, CMYK. It just selects a color range pretty much and sort of puts them together in different chunks. So I'm undoing, Control Z, I'm undoing. If you want to make any brush sizes bigger in Photoshop, you can press the, I think they're called bracket keys. You can press the left and right one. The left one makes it small. The larger one makes it, the right one makes it larger, pretty much. So I'm tapping the button there, left and right. That's how I do it. I'm pretty sure that's how most people do it. I managed to get the name of those keys. I call them brackets. They may not be called brackets. But it's basically next to the P symbol, I think, on most keyboards. They look like open, long rectangles, like vertical rectangles, and they're just open halfway. It's the best way I can describe them. So I can do that. Or, you know, if you really want to spend some time, which I'm considering it, I'm going to try with a quick selection tool first. If not, there's a method where you can, create a path with the pen tool and go around and create a mask that way. For these purposes right now, I'm going to start with a quick selection tool. And then afterwards, I may be able to just touch it up with the brush afterwards and make it a little bit smoother. But let's get started. So back to this brush with a quick selection tool, not the brush here. So the only thing I'm looking for, and I'm just dragging, if you make it smaller, it'll, for example, like the circle is bigger than this area here that I need, make it smaller, and it'll go in here. Now see, over here, I don't want these pointy edges here. So what I can do is hold down the Alt button, and then hold down the left click button. And then you just drag it over that area, and it's going to try to take it out. So, and you basically deselect the area, so that's how you deselect it. And I'm just doing this all around on most of the wing that I'm looking for. And see, it's having problems there with selecting things. Now I'm not too worried about that tiny spot. You see there's a little space here. I'm not too worried about that. It's a far away sort of image. So it's getting some of that there. That's what I don't want. So I'm holding down Alt right now and holding down left click. And the plus turns to a minus symbol, which basically means subtract. So it's subtracting that area. Hope it captures this pretty good. I think if I zoom in more here, which I'm going to do in a second. For most part, yeah. Like I said, this is all. Oh, so another thing you might miss. I'm just zooming in. Pressing, no, not that. Going back to quick select. So I'm making this brush smaller again. See how much I can get here. Take some of this away here. Since this is sort of a far away sort of image, I may not need it too extremely detailed. But then what I also want to do is in between here, I want to make sure that, yeah, that's deselected. I want to make sure this is deselected here. So I'm pressing Alt and left clicking here as well. I don't want any of this selected in here. For the most part. Make it smaller. It's tedious, it's time consuming, but that's how it is. I'm trying to think right in here. See, that's the guy back there. I can see his blue shirt back there. So that sort of makes me curious there. You see what I'm saying? That's the guy in his blue shirt. That's not part of the wing then. So this white actually might be the building back there. So with this image, it is a little bit difficult to tell, like, yeah, that's the white building back there. So I could have done like pen tool or something to make it more, precise. Again, this is a far away image, so I'll see what I can get away with it. Trying to get all that. And it looks like there's some of the wing up here I can get to. So I think that's fine for what it is for now. So just really try to get in there and get the quick selection tool to get what you needed to. I'm just looking, see what's what. So at this point, I'm just making sure before I move on. At this point, I'm going to go down here to the right, create, add layer mask. So now it's on its own layer, but what I am thinking about doing is, you see here, and let me zoom in so you can see it. See these rough edges? If I go to the right over here, it says feather, and if I drag it, you see it gets blurry. You can see how extreme it gets. But a tiny bit of feather can help it blend in with other images. So usually 1 to 1.5, maybe 2 is good enough. It's a car though. It's complicated. It's a car, right? Which you expect a car to look pretty solid. A car doesn't look soft, even on edges. So it's not just any type of solid. I may do like 0.4 or something right there for it now. And also, if I want to do some more touches, I could press the B button for brush. If it's going to work here. Hmm. My brush size. Oh, you know the problem is? I think my brush size is like it's at 2,000. Hold on, let me bring it down to like 10. Yeah, I couldn't see it. So if you look to the left, make sure that well, select foreground to black for now, and the background color to pure white. Pure black and pure white. That's what you want for a layer mask. And then you can press the X key to switch back and forth. And black, I'll show you, basically it erases anything on the layer mask. While over here, you need this selected to the right. Make sure this is the layer mask right here. This sort of black and white image down here. Make sure that's selected when you use layer mask. I'm going to undo that. So the black color erases an image. I'll show it. And then if I press the X key and I switch to white for foreground, it'll bring an image back. That's what it's for. So what I'm thinking, and you know, you can change your hardness up here on the brush. Right now my hardness is set to 0, so it's like 100% soft basically. Because I'm wondering how much I can do this without making it look too bad. And this is the problem with trying to do quick selection, you know, with a car, right? But if I wanted to, the other method, you know, I could use the pen tool, like I was saying, and then you could draw a path around it. That probably would have been better. It's a little more time consuming, but it does work. Just trying to get it smooth, but again, like I said, it's a little complicated because it's a car. So this case is a little bit different here. Yeah, I probably could use the pen tool, but for these purposes, I'm just showing this method here for now. Um, don't need it super precise, like I said. This car image. Since it will be at a distance for the most part. Especially the other version. The front version of the car, I'm only going to see the wheel. Well, I mean, the wing spoiler, that'll be a different wing anyway, not this one. It'll be from a different angle. I think for now, just to move on, I'll show you what the next steps is, what I'm going to do here. So let me zoom out just to see what it looks like. Like I said, for now, I think that's fine. It has some feathering going on a little bit. Hopefully not too much feathering. It's a car, so it's like I am a little concerned there could be too much, but let's see. 0.3 maybe. So Darwinpro M2 F22 spoiler wing. Let me think of a name here. I'm gonna save it first, just so I can come back to it. Mm. And the next one, it says 2023. I could do PNG. I think you have to go to save a copy here. And now I can save it as a JPG. That's just how it is now. Okay. So, actually, I don't even want that. Let me undo that. I already screwed up. Okay. I actually do want a PNG, so this is fine. This is my cutout version, the other one I did. I think. I'm not going to be using that one. That was, I think, one I was testing. I'm not going to be using that. I'm using the one that says transparent, so I remember that. Hopefully large file size is good enough. Okay. Next portion of the video here. Okay, next part of the video here. So, what you're looking at here is the previous part of the tutorial that I did, where I pretty much placed the wheels inside the scene. As you can see, the 3 best wheels on the planet I have placed on the car. So, if you pay attention to what I have up here, this is my file where I place the wheels. This is the main file. I have a rear version, and then I have the other one that I didn't show on video on camera. That's basically the front version of the car, which I'm going to get to. Which actually I could go ahead and show you. You probably haven't seen that one yet. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about. This is the front version. See, this looks amazing as well. I went ahead and did all that afterwards, just to show you. These are the wheels. Don't need that right now. I'm just focusing on the rear spoiler wing right now. So I have this open, and I also went to another file open, and I opened the original stock image itself that has not been edited at all. And there's a reason for that, and that will be color matching. And that's what I'm going to show after I get the wing in here. So let me try to fit the wing here. And this is why I pretty much did the wing in a separate file, just so I can place it, and it should be a little easier to work with. I think it's the other one down here. Yeah. Go ahead and place it. It's here. You see, it's a much darker blue, but that's fine. So up here you have a rotate button as you place it in. Well, first off, let me go ahead and just double click. I think you press enter as well. Double click that. And then, you hold down control button for those who are new to Photoshop. Hold down control. At the same time, press the T button. That's the transform tool for any object. I'm still on my layer here of the image that I just placed. And I clicked off. But control T. And I can hold Alt and I can drag this down to just reduce the size. And I'm just left clicking, dragging it over here pretty much. Just try to fit it on. In a cool way. I'm also looking at, if you look at the arc of the car, look at the arc of the rear windshield mirror back there. I'm looking at the trunk as well. I'm sort of looking at the arc of the wing aligned with all that. Just sort of see what matches up pretty much. And then what you could do to really sort of change the shape a bit is hold down control on these little white squares here. And then if you do that, it almost sort of, it'll stretch and sort of warp a bit. There's a warp tool, which I'll show a little bit. But see, you can do all that. And then it may fit a little better. But for now, I think I'm going to size it down a little bit more. I think that's what I did before. I know, sort of want a little bigger. And then I'm just going to change it But let me show you the warp tool just in case, right now I'm just showing how to put a wing on a car, well, one way. Like I said, there's a bunch of ways you can do things. A million ways you can do something in Photoshop. So you go up here to the top, edit, transform. There's the warp tool here. And if I drag these points, or you could drag in the middle, press Control Z to undo. But this could be a little dangerous to use. But see, now I can really change it. But like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be using that. See, it does too much. So I'm probably not going to use that right now. So let me go back to my Control T. But that's basically the warp tool. Just showing you what it does. It's similar to this controller, I guess. Holding down control and doing this, but not really. It warps a little bit more. It's really trying to line it up with the car. I'm also thinking about something else right now that I could do. And yeah, I'm thinking I may mask out the wing a little bit on some parts. Some things I'm thinking of right now as I'm doing this. I'm just playing around with it, that's all. So I'm thinking about cutting that off. Like I said, it's not the same as the F22 body style. So now I have to think about how I want to cut it off here pretty much. I know this side over here, like, I sort of want to raise up a bit type of thing. All right. Okay, so I did figure out a solution really quick. And I was thinking about this solution before, but right now I just want to drag this back down. Behind the car back there. And then I'll figure out that part in a second back there, which it doesn't look too bad, but it can be a little fit. It's behind the car, but I'll see what I can do later about that. For right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up that pen tool trick that I was talking about before. Because honestly, since the wing doesn't match the car, I'm thinking what I can do is sort of make it line up, which is the way I really want it to look anyway. I want it to line up with the roof line going down the side, like right there where my mouse is going. So I think that would be pretty cool. Hmm. But now I sort of wonder. Now I don't think I want the wing too big. Right now I'm just really thinking about which way I want it to look. The wing's amazing. Don't want to screw it up. Now I'm sort of curious about that warp tool. Like I said, I'm just playing around with this. Now I'm curious. Yeah, let's just continue with what I was gonna do. The warp tool and everything. It's not worth it. Okay. So grab the pen tool with the layer selected here. Just the wing layer that I placed in here. And I'm just gonna select here on the edge and try to get one of those curves, and then select maybe Let me undo that. Let me turn down the opacity over here on the right so I can sort of see it a little bit. Even though I have an idea what it looks like. But so with the pen tool selected, and now I just want to think about how I really want to curve through. And so let's select an endpoint here. Let's say like right here. Or do I line it on the trunk there? That sort of trunk, huh? Maybe let's do that. A little bit on the line. Something like that, maybe. That might be cool. And then at this point, I'm just clicking around the entire thing for now. I'm not too concerned. And I'll show you what this turns out to. Now, change opacity back to 100. And then I'm going to go up to the top. You look up here where the pen tool is at. It says selection. Click selection. Feather radius. I'm just going to leave it at 0.5 for now. This is the default. So there's that. It selected that. But let's just go ahead and press add layer mask. See what it does. So cut that. Oops. Undo that. It cut that out. But now if I go to the right over here in the menu under properties, there's layer mask, density, feather. You'll see invert here. Press invert. And now you see that sort of cut right there, right? Yeah, I like that. But that's the idea, but I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna do that. Let me zoom in. I don't like the way that turned out. I may need an extra point. But that's basically what I'm going for. I want to see what that looked like. So let's make an extra point. I want to get it right on that line. Or, you know, close to the line. Something like that. See what it looks like. Same process again. Well, let me turn this up to 100 opacity. Selection. Add layer mask. Invert. But you see what I'm going for. It's a little better. Man, I should have done something with that wing right there earlier. Yeah, I'm thinking about painting away that wing right there, but I'm not sure. Yeah, see, I could paint that away. Which, well, first off, let me zoom out. Let me look at the wing. Let's really take a look at it. Like I said, I think I'm gonna paint some of that away down there. Or hmm. But you know, when I blend the color in, I think I like where the wing is. I'm looking at like perspective and dimensions. You know, I sort of stretched up the left side a bit over there. So as long as this left side is higher than the right side in terms of perspective, if that makes sense, I can maybe stretch this up a little bit more. But it may be too much. Okay, I'll do a tiny bit. Tiny bit. And I think that should be fine. So, I'm thinking about getting rid of... So, I'm going back to my layer mask for this. Remember, black and white on the foreground and background over here. You just press the X key to switch between the two. But I'm going to paint some things. But what I'm going to do is change my hardness. Let's see what 50% looks like. I'm going to do like 70. Again, it's complicated because it's a car. Right? It's complicated because it's a car. It's not like some furry animal type of situation or something. But let me zoom in more. Let me really... Because I sort of want that black line showing a little bit. A little bit. And then I just press the X key and I'm bringing back a little bit of this. I want to keep the black line, but then, you know. Now all this here, I don't have anything to take away because of the original image I did in the other file, which is fine. I still don't like it. But now you can see the hardness is too much. Let's try 30 and see what it looks like. 20, 25. So it sort of doesn't fit. For now, that's what I'm going to do on it. Let me zoom out. For now, but actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's zoom back in. You see where this, I don't know what this is. It's on the trunk. That's something new for the M2. Not that I'm too familiar with the past generation M2, but this little bar part right here, what I'm thinking is, let's at least make that. Let's go back to the brush. At least make that like visible back there or something. And oops, and then that may help. Sort of like, oh, it's on the edge of that, but something like that. You know, I'm just making this up as it goes. But now it looks even weirder. I could make the wing bigger. I'm just figuring this wing thing out as I go here. How I want to like really. Yeah, like if that bar wasn't there, it would have worked a little better. For now, that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna do this other side here. me see what it's looking like. Okay. I'm just painting it away right now so I can see where the edges are. And then I'm going to paint them back in pretty much. Hardness, yeah, at 0. Now I'm going to paint back in over that, again, this weird bar that's on the car. Of course, I feel like it's probably more like that. You see, it's like the background where the people are walking back there. And then, like, the roof of the car here has that white reflection too, and it's really difficult to see. And so, what I'm thinking is that I think the trunk is more something like this. Or at least try to make it fit, you know? I don't know. At least try to make it fit in there. At a distance, now it definitely doesn't line up. It still looks pretty cool. It's really difficult to see because this white Ford board that's back there and everything. But the colors, you know, it's difficult to see there. So this is just the portion of me putting on the video. Next, I'm gonna do some color matching.